Good afternoon, Chad. Hello. How you doing? Good evening is a thing of the past for right now. It is actually daytime, so that's something new. Hey, Beard Phils, thanks for joining us. And hello, Teeth Engraved. I really appreciate you guys being here because I think this is officially going to be our stream that makes affiliate. We're like an hour away, and that means we get fun emotes if all goes well. Yep, it do be like that, with any luck. Let me collect my thoughts. What the hell are we doing? All right, so I've got Maelstrom open again because that's good fun, and I've just opened our max patch, and now we get to see what is actually working on load. We've been trying to improve our interface and make this usable for people that don't want to bother learning the intricacies of Max MSP. So here's what it looks like right now when we open it. And hopefully some stuff should just work a lot easier than before. So we would first pick our controller, and hopefully I'm going to unlock it and cheat here. We should be able to see stuff coming in. We do. Good times. Then the user would pick an output port, and we did load with the IAC driver bus. And then they would choose some output CCs. We are defaulting to 2 through 6, so that's cool. Hopefully we shouldn't need to touch anything there. My goal with any program is to make it so that the user has to do as little as possible to get up and running. So far they've only had to choose their device. That's excellent. We will want to choose an output channel. So we'll say 1. And that's one we should add to our notes that should be loaded automatically. Let's open our notes file. Space Synth notes. There it is. All right. Woo, affiliate! Yeah. Here's hoping. I want to have fun emotes for you guys. Then, let's see. So yeah, what else is on our list? Fine-tuning the joystick a bit. Load MIDI channel automatically. And choose a scale. We probably want to have something default there as well. So let's start us off with... Let's do Phrygian today in E. Now hopefully, let's see, we will need the mapping controls to be visible. That's something else we need to add. Cool, cool. Whoops, I didn't mean to open that. There we go. So let's select MIDI map and find some stuff to map. Let's find some more interesting presets here. Mess with this a bit. Pads. April Mist. That's pretty fun. Catch your breath. That's probably a good idea. I've had a lot of coffee. Neat. I dig that one. Sure, I'm in that kind of mood. Let's do that. Whoops. Go away, browser. We have browsed. How do I close the browser? Oh, there we go. Cool. Now we need some knobs. Index is nice. Motion is nice. Alright, that's a good one. What else do we want? Oh yeah. So, we've got... Let's add a wave shaper. That's cool. How about saturate? That's pretty cool. Clip? Yeah, sure. Alright. What else do we want? Filters are always good, so we're going through... We have 2 filters to choose from. Filter B is taking both oscillators, so let's do that. Not a drastic effect, but kind of nice. Sure. And let's take filter A as well. Maybe we'll put them both on the same thing. What else do we want? So we've got motion, we've got a filter, we've got some saturation. Maybe some modulation would be good. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's map that to something. Alright. And maybe the other modulation too. Let's pick a different wave shape for that. And let's see. Yeah, that's nice too. Alright, cool. What we did there was pick a randomized curve and turned up the amount that we're sending it to the modulator A. So we're controlling modulation A amount with mod B. Exciting. We're also controlling all these other things, the filter, volume, and motion. So that's exciting. Alright. Bada boom. There, we got plenty of things to map. Let's make sure our mapping controls are working. So, turn on MIDI map mode. And I think... left joystick, X. Let's put that on... Let's put that on motion. Oop. Didn't work. What did we do? Bet we need to re-choose this output port. But this is what we test for. There we go. Yep, alright. That's something good to know. So loading a default of our MIDI port did not work. We need to fix that. Let's make a note of it. Alright. This is why we keep a notes file, because this way I don't have to keep all that stuff in my brain. Alright, so left joystick Y. What shall we put that on? So we've got motion on X. Let's do... let's do mod B on Y. Right joystick X. I think I want saturation there. It'd be nice to be able to do this mapping from the controller. Let's do right joystick Y on rate of mod A. And you can see our CCs and our channel are working. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 on channel 1, so that's good. Might be good to make a note of that. Working. MIDI CC defaults work on load. MIDI channel assign works. Need to confirm on load. So yeah, the less setup, the better. That's what we're kind of working on right now. And last of all, let's assign mashing to the filter frequencies. I think that'll be fun. We'll do 1 here. And 1 here. Alright, nice. Turn that off. Let's test it out. Yep, that's cool. Oh, joysticks aren't sending. Oh, that's because I'm an idiot and I didn't turn map mode off. Alright, we are almost there. Derp. Gotta turn that off. There we go. Let's turn this up a little bit. Sick. Hey, that's spaceshipy. What do you think, chat? Let's go up an octave. And the mashing works pretty nicely for filter frequency. You can hear the filter open as I press buttons. And then if I hold it for a while, it closes. Nice. Let's turn on toggle mode. Now we can check our right joystick. I'm gonna try a different wave shaper. Maybe noise. Saturate. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's all working. Notes off. Cool. We're good. All right, that's coming along. So, I'm feeling fancy today, chat. I've had a bunch of coffee, and I had kind of a fun idea. I've had Teeth Engraved's idea in the back of my head for a little while about having a sequencer on a note. And I think that would be kind of fun. I think I have kind of a simple way that we could add something like that. So think of it as like we're going to add a button that is a special. So like think of a special attack in a fighting game. And when you activate special mode on this button, it will scroll through a little set of notes that you can make. Oh, thanks, Beardfills. He says, that sounds beautiful. So ethereal. Glad you dig it. Yeah, lots of fun. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking it would be neat. Think of an arpeggiator. You can add notes so that you have this chord you're working with, or just a set of notes. And if we could add a little set of notes to a button, then every time you press the button, it grabs a different note. And if you had that on multiple buttons, you could get some really nice kind of semi-random chaos as you play. And I think that's pretty doable. So I'm going to write it down here. And I'm totally breaking my own rule of adding more features, but I just think this one would be neat. So I want to start it today. We might not finish it today, but we'll see. One more bonus feature. And special attack, we're going to call it. Be able to turn on a special mode for a button. Add notes to a group. And have each note press pick a note out of the set. This could be either in order or a random order. So what else? We need a way to add notes to the group. We need a way to clear the group. We need a way to trigger those notes. We need a way to go back to normal. And let's see. I think that about covers it. I have some ideas for how we could accomplish this. Let's grab a new patch so that we can think clearly. And let's, in this patch, add a K slider. And I think we could make it just one octave. In fact, I'm going to steal the one we have over here. Because we have octave switches, so we don't really need to add notes in multiple octaves. That's what I'm thinking. So we already have used a coal. Let's add a coal here. And I guess we'll make it save data with Patcher. Let's open up the help file to remind ourselves. This is a good way to store a bunch of numbers in a group. And I'm going to assume this is going to be a B patcher because we want to be able to put this on more than one key. So I'm going to give this a name using hashtag 5. Well, no, hashtag 1. I think that'll work. So we want a changeable argument. And that's going to make this unique. Though I'm probably getting ahead of myself here. Let's take that out. We just need a way. I'm going to start out by focusing on a simple part of this. We need to add notes to a group. That's what we're going to do first. So let's go back to that help file. And, right, so to store notes, we give it a number, so a row number, and we give it a note that we want to store. So if I was to, let's just play around with this. Let's do an integer box. And the integer box is going to define our row. Then we're going to pack. We're going to use POC because we want to output this. Well, no, that'll double it. Let's use pack. I. So we want two integers, one for the row number and one for the note. And we're going to want a way to clear this. Yep, there we go. Clear. For sanity's sake, I'm going to make it so you either clear the whole thing or just add notes to it. We're not going to make a way to remove individual rows and edit like that. That is too much. So our note number is going to come out here. Our row number is going to come out here. And what we want to do is say trigger an integer for our note number and then a bang. First the integer goes in here, then the bang goes over here and says send the two together into the col. So I think that should work. Empty col. And what we want to do is increment the row number anytime we add a note. So let's test it first. If I add F, we should get 0 and 41. All right, that's cool. Works for me. F. And now if I were to play another note, it's going to overwrite that and give us 0 and 40 for E. Yep, so that's behaving how we expect it to. Now we need a way to increment our row number so that every time we add a new note, row number goes up. Let's see. I believe we could use ink deck for that. That might be a good way to go. How does this work again? Connect it around a number box like this. And right, and every time we send it the ink message, it goes up. Yeah, I think that should work. So we would want this. And now instead of sending a bang, well, we would still send a bang, but then we would send a message to increment for the next note. I think that should work. Let's make ourselves a little bit of room here. There we go. Make this wider. So first we send the note that we want to store. That's the I here. Then we send a bang to say store the note with this row number. And then we send the message increment over here so that the next number is in the next row. I think that would work. I think I see a problem with it, actually. Let's try it, though. So right now our col has one number in it at row 0. What happens when I hit a new note? We go to 1, and we have a duplicate, right. So that makes sense. That is because every time that this number box changes, we're triggering a send into our col. So what happened there was we said integer, send the integer with the row, and then when we incremented, we sent it again. So we have the same number in both rows. So we don't want that. I think what we want instead is to just take this bang out and send increment instead. That should work. So let's clear our col. Let's set this back to 0. And let's try it again. So if I send D, let's actually start this at -1. Clear? Now when I say F, oh dear, whoops, that's not correct. Our note went to our int box. That's not what we want. This should go here. All right, clear. put that at -1. Now we clear. Now the next number we should get is our note at row 0. That worked. There we go. Let's see if we can add more notes to it. Awesome. 0, 1, 2, 3, and some notes. Nice. Okay. Cool. Now, if we want to clear that, what we would want to do is say, let's make a button for clearing. And we can cross this off our list. So we have a way to add notes to the group. That's the first part. Now we're working on a way to clear it. So when we hit this button, we want to trigger both the clear and reset this back to -1 so that the next number it puts out is a 0. Let me know if you have any questions on all this, chat. As always, I'm happy to explain. Bada-bum. Trigger. So first we say -1, and then, right to left, we say clear. We can get rid of this. So -1 goes over here, and then we clear the coal. Boop. Empty coal, -1. New note, row 0. Yep, that's working. Beautiful. Let's write her down. Now we need a way to trigger these notes. So here's what I'm thinking. Let's say we have a little group of notes in here. Okay, we got 5 notes. And if we were to send the coal the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we would get these notes out in the order they were input. So that's a little like an arpeggiator where it's saying play in the order that you input them. So let's add a counter. I think a counter would do kind of what we want. So if this counter, let's just use the specific current example, and then we will make it work with anything. If we went 0 through... Wait a minute. What are the arguments for a counter? Right, so the first argument is, I believe, the direction. So no arguments counts upward from 0. 1 as the first argument means loop forward. Wait a minute. This is not explaining it well. So here we are with 1 and 4. Let's see what happens when I bang this counter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, so it's looping 1 through 4. Okay, so the third argument, I guess. Loop backwards. 1, -1, -4. Okay. Alright. So the first argument says forward or backwards or palindrome. And the next 2 arguments are the min and max. Okay, so palindrome means go forward and then backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I believe 0 means forwards. Let's try that. So 0, we're going to go forwards, and we're going to go from 0 to 4. Just like the indexes in our coal. Let's put an integer box here so we can see what we're doing. Let's send a bang. Yep, alright, so that's working. And if I send this over to our coal, we should get our notes output. Yep, alright, so that's working. Now we need a way to set this counter so that it matches whatever is in our coal. So one of these outlets, we should be able to ask the coal, hey coal, how many numbers do you have stored in you? How many rows? Let's get back into this help file. We got this. So queries is probably what we want. Interesting. So there's a next and a previous, but I think we have a better way to do that. Well, next, yeah, okay. And length, get the number of entries. That's what we want. So let's paste that in here. We know we're going to need it. So length should tell us. Yep, 5 rows. All right. Annoying that it comes out the same outlet. That means that we need to be able to route this either to our counter or output. All right. We got this, chat. However, I need to take a very quick break and just grab a quick glass of water. I will be right back. And then we will figure this out. All right, and we are back and ready to rock. Okay, chat, we are at one of these tricky little max things. So I'm going to separate these. Whoops. No, we don't want that. I'm going to separate this out a little bit. So we have to think about our outputs. This coal here, this output is going to either trigger notes or give us information about how many notes we have. The reason we need that is so that this counter can know what its maximum value should be. And the other thing we could do with that is set a random amount so that it randomly picks numbers between 0 and however many. But we need to know how many notes we have, or we need to send our current note. That means that we need a gate. So gate is going to have 2 outlets. An initial state will be the left one, let's say. So if its initial state is left, first thing we're going to want to do is input notes. Oh, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, that being done. The first thing we're going to want to do is input notes. And at that point, we need to know how many notes there are. Anytime we add a new note, we should be increasing the amount on our counter. So let's say that this left side, let's put a comment in here, left get length. And then right is, let's call that play mode. And more clearly, for our own benefit, right means gate 2. And left is gate set to 1. We're never going to use gate 0, that just closes it. We're either getting information about our coal or we are using it to play notes. So let's put an integer box on both sides and make sure things behave how we want them to. So what I'm thinking is anytime that we add a new note, that's when we need to get the length. So let's use this trigger object and let's add a comment here. So the first thing we do is send the note, prepare note. Well, yeah, we'll say send note so it is ready to be stored in the coal. The next thing we do is we say increment counter and store note in next row. So that's that inc message. Then the last thing we do after we've stored our note is get new length. So 3 things to do whenever we click a note here. All right, so let's add that in. Gonna say, let's just do a bang because probably multiple things need to happen when we get this length. So what this bang is gonna do is say, need more room, not big enough. Okay. What this bang is gonna do. Let's move this down here. So first what we do is switch the gate. Switch gate to 1. And what this list is for is get new length. Switch gate to 1, so we're going left. We're not going to play these notes yet. Send length message, right? So we get that length, we send it wherever it needs to go, and then we want to put the gate back over to the right for play mode. Alright, so not too bad, but that would have been a heck of a lot of stuff to squeeze into this trigger. That's why we're separating it out. So this one is going to be trigger a 1 to switch the gate. Then we want to send length, and then we want to send a 2 back to our gate. So 1 goes here, 2 also goes here, length goes to the cull, and this bang connects up here. I wish that wasn't just running down the middle of my thing here. Whatever. There we go. Put that here so we can see what's happening. Get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. All right. So let's see what happens. I'm going to trigger a clear. And right, so we're at -1. I'm going to add a note. I'm going to add a couple of notes. Oh, and you can see it worked. Check it out. So now our left number box here says we have 1 row. Good. Let's add a couple more. Nice. And you can see this number box on the left here is incrementing, and this one on the right is not doing anything. Says 4 now. We should have 4 notes in here, and we do. All right, good times. So now what do we do with this length? What we need to do is both set the maximum on the counter and restart it so that it starts at the beginning every time in play mode. All right. Set counter maximum. Set reset counter to beginning. And since this is giving us the total number of rows, so we have 4 rows, starts counting at 0. Then our maximum on our cull, let's have our cull start at 1. I think that would work. Well, all right, let's just think about this for a second. This is a frequent issue where you have to think about, am I counting from 0 or 1? Most programming stuff you count from 0, but sometimes it is easier to go from 1 in Max MSP. So we have our cull set up to go from 0, but we could just make this start at 0, and then we're counting from 1. So let's clear and see how that works. We're adding 3 notes. Now they are in rows 1, 2, 3, and we have number of rows is 3. So if we were to say trigger that integer, and then we would want to start our counter at 1. So this is going to come all the way up here and say set count maximum first. And then we would want to put this over. We don't want to set the counter to this number immediately. We want to set the counter to this number on the next click. So the next time that we try to play a note, it's going to start at the beginning at 1. So that should do it. Yeah. I like that. All right, let's test it out. We're going to clear. We're going to make sure there's nothing in our cull. We're going to add 3 notes. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to make sure they're in our cull. 1, 2, 3, 47, 45, 43. Looks good to me. And now, ideally, we should see those notes come out here on the right as soon as I bang this counter. Remember again our technique for when we're testing something, we want to know what we're expecting. It's not just see what happens. Because if you know what you're looking for and you don't get that thing, then you are more equipped to diagnose why it's different rather than being like, what the heck is going on here? All right, so we should see a 1 come out here. And then we should see our first note, 47, come out here. Let's do it. Nice. Hey, it worked. And if I bang this 2 more times, we should go 2 and 45, 3, 43. Hey, it worked! Huzzah! Making progress. That is for later. I was hoping I had a bonfire up here, but I'd call that a bonfire, chat. So, we have a way to trigger these notes. Good. Now we need to trigger them from our actual controller. And the other thing I want to do, real quick, so this is sending them in order. Trigger next note. Clear coal. It would also be easy to have a random mode. So that needs this happy little object. Random. Let's open that up. So all you need to do is tell random your range that you're interested in. So let's say 6. And every time you bang it, you're going to get a random number within the range of 0 and the argument specified. So that's going to give us numbers between 0 and 6. Nice. So this works very similarly to our counter. We can just take this integer and send it over here at the same time. And that way we're prepared for a random mode if our user wants that. Pick a random note from the set. So the only thing that's different here is we need to add 1, because here's our counting from 0 problem again. Yep, 0 index. That's right, Beard Pills. So in this case, random is set, it's hard-coded to count from 0. And that's why I initially had our coal counting from 0. But the counter and everything works easier with 1, because otherwise we would have needed to add a 1 here when we were resetting it. So, you know, he can't win. Whatever. So all we're going to do is add 1 to our random index, because 0 is never going to give us a note. No worries. And I think that makes sense, because so if we have 3 rows here, we're going to get a random number between 0 and between 0 and 3. And that's not good. No, that is good. No, wait. I need to fix something. So, if we're getting a random number between 0 and 3, we don't want 0, so we're going to add 1. But that gives us a random number between 1 and 4. So we don't want 4. So we actually want to make our range for random 1 less than the number of rows. Stick with me, chat. I know this is getting a little hairy, but all we need to do is this. So we get 3 rows. We say, take that 3 and subtract 1 from it, and we have 2. Now random will give us the numbers between 0 and 2. So we get a 0, a 1, or a 2. Now we add 1 to whatever we output here, and we take those 3 and we shift them up, right? So we now have, instead of between 0 and 3, we've made it 0 and 2. And then we take those numbers, and now we have the numbers between 1 and 3. Okay. Glad you're sticking with me, chat. Beardpill says, I was thinking of using floats, maybe. Well, we don't really... This is all note numbers, so there's no need to use floats in this case. And using floats within the coal wouldn't make sense, because we just want row numbers here. We're picking a random row number and outputting the note that's attached to it. So this is all integer stuff here. And thank God, because floats would then make this even more complicated. Yeah, but then you'd got to do type conversion later. Yeah, there's no need for that here, because everything here is MIDI. MIDI does not understand decimals. It is not smart enough for that. So, I think this should work. I'm going to put some extra integer boxes so we can see what's happening here a little better. And this will all make sense. So this is going to go to the same place, back up to our coal. And now we just need one more gate. Gate. It's going to be 2 outlets. Initial state doesn't really matter. Let's say 1, so that we're just going in order initially. There. And then there. So we're either going to talk to the counter or the random with this bang. And we'll put a little switch here. Happy little switch. And we're going to add 1 to it because this switch is either a 1 or a 0. And we want it to say either a 1 or a 2. So this is going to be, let's move this down a little bit. Activate random mode. All right. So let's test that out. Let's clear our coal. And I'm going to make this a 0 just so that we can see that our notes coming out are correct. And I'm going to add, let's check 4 notes. So we'll do C, D, E, and F. Okay? So first of all, we can see that the length is correct here. We have 4 notes, 4 rows. You can see them in the coal. They're numbered 1 through 4. And that is cool. Now, what did we send to the random? So this 4, number of rows, we subtracted 1, and now the random has 3. So random is going to pick 0, 1, 2, or 3, which is good. We have 4 numbers at random. 0, 1, 2, or the maximum 3 here. If we get a 0, though, the first number, we don't want to send a 0 to this coal because there's no number at 0. We want to translate that into a 1. So we add 1 to it here. And if we were to get a 3, the maximum that we set here, then we want that to actually translate to our 4th row, which is the maximum there. So that's why we're adding 1 on the output. So if I bang this, we should always get one of these 4 notes, but in a random order. Looks like that's working. We're going to get some repeats sometimes. But that's okay for now. That might be cool. Sometimes you want to play the same note more than once. We could always change that later, but I'm happy with that. And then if we turn off random mode, we should go through these in order. So we should get 36, 38, 40, 41. 36, 38, 40, 41. Hey, it's working! Nice! So the last thing that we need to do is be able to actually trigger this from our controller on a button. Awesome. Okay, we're super close, guys. I think we got this. So let's put this into a presentation mode. We're going to need these as our controls. Whoop! Okay. Gonna bring that guy up here. I'm gonna make him a little smaller. He doesn't need to be quite so big. And actually, we don't really need this in presentation mode. That was more of a note to ourselves. Remove from presentation. What we do want is a note that says, choose notes for special moves. How about special attack? That's more fun. There we go. And then what we need is the ability to clear, the ability to activate random mode, and the ability to trigger the next note. All right, let's put those in line. I also want to be able to see these notes. So let's just grab another K slider, feed this into it, and now what we're going to do is make this into a B patcher. So that means we need an outlet. This is going to get sent to our notes patcher. Let's give it a comment. Note out. And just thinking. We also need an inlet. And that's going to be a button press. Actually, more accurately than that, that's going to be note on. So that way this will work with either our toggle latch mode or with our normal mode. And this is why it's so important to separate out responsibilities. Because we don't need to worry about that inside this patch. As long as we send a bang here to say note on, trigger the next note, then we're letting our other notes patcher worry about whether it's a note on or a note off. Alright, and the last thing we need to do is say that this coal is unique to this patch. And we actually don't really care what its name is. So I'm going to use #0 in this case. That's just going to randomly generate some unique string of numbers or letters. And we're going to say, so #0 special attacks. Great. And let's save this. Oh my god, I'm seriously living dangerously. I didn't save this at all yet. I'm terrible. Never do that, chat. Save your work. So, special move. Alright. Yeah, never do that. I'm terrible. Bad. Bad D. Alright. Close this up. Jump back in here. And now my hope is that we are... Oh, I just remembered something else. Hold on. I wanted to add this to presentation mode so we can see our output. Let's see if there's a real quick test. And, oh yes, when we load... Well, no, we don't necessarily want to clear the coal when we load, because this way it'll get stored with our patch. But for right now, clear the coal. Let's go D, F, A. Okay, so a D minor chord. And I'm not going to activate random mode. I'm going to start off in order. So when I hit trigger next note, we should see D, F, A in rotation. Hey! Oh, almost. So, hit it once, we get D. Hit it again, we get F. Hit it again, we get A. Hit it again, we're getting A again. Good thing we tested. There's a slight bug here. So, I believe that's because... Our counter should be going from 1 to whatever this number is. Let's see what's happening here. 2, 3. Ah, it's coming back to 0. Oh, okay. That's because we have it set to a default of minimum 0. We want that to be 1. Because while we are sending a 1 to say, play 1 next, counter still thinks that the minimum is 0. Alright, let's try that. Save. Same thing again. Clear the coal. Let's do E, G, B. And trigger next note, we should get E. We do! G. Yep. B. Good. Next one should be E. Awesome, that's working. Sick! Look at that. Alright. And if I go to random mode, we should have the same chord, but in a random order. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We're not getting B. What the hell? Alright, what's happening here? So random is set to... So we have 3 rows. The random range is 2. So that should be giving us 0, 1, or 2. And when we trigger this, we should be adding 1 to that. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. It's because this 2 is actually the number of random numbers. Ethan Grape says D for danger. Hell yeah, that's what it stands for. Radical danger. That's us, chat. Alright, let's see. Let's continue living dangerously here. What the fuck? So yeah, random... We're saying give us 2 random numbers. Start them at 0. So we're never actually going to get 2 here. So we didn't need this subtract 1 after all. Nix that. Save. Let's try it again. We're going to go clear. We're going to say C, E flat, G for a nice C minor chord. Now we should be able to do it. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. We got a G. There's one. Cool. We are getting an awful lot of repeats. I wonder if there's a way to just specify on the random object no repeat. You'd think there would be. That's something worth Googling. Max MSP random no repeat. Random no duplicates. If you look at the help file, there's a list of C also. I find this list to be whatever. Also, check out the object earn. Huh. Do we need a magical urn? Nice. Making me think of Paul Bearer here. We need a magical urn like the Undertaker. Oh, Teeth and Grave beat me to it. Great minds think alike. Undertaker! My best Paul Bearer impression. Yeah, let's see if the urn works. Never used this object, chat. Generate random numbers without duplicates. So, what does it need? Right inlet sets new maximum. Okay. So, seems like it works the same way. So, earn 10. Oh, bang right outlet indicates all numbers have been generated. Okay. No, I think this will do it. So let's say earn. And I think we can say paste replace. Yep. Now, all we need to do is, so the earn is going to generate numbers once until it's generated them all. Beard Pills says, might be too complicated to store each number in a buffer and filter the dupes out. So, like, make an array, and if 2 or more consecutive numbers are the same, drop all but 1. Yeah, probably too much, though, he says. Yeah, that's probably a little more than we need. That would probably work, but we want to think simple. We have an object here that says, generate 3 random numbers, and don't use any duplicates. And when it hits the end of that here, we get a bang. And so I think all we need to do is when we hit that, we just re-trigger the range here to restart it. Let's see if that works. I'm going to open the help file again. So let's use a smaller number. We'll say 5. And when I bang this, we should get... So we have 2, 4, 1, 3. 0. And now if I get a bang again, we should get this. Yep. Oh no, it didn't work. So how do I restart it? So outputs random numbers and keeps track of each number that has been generated. When all numbers up to the maximum have been output, a bang is sent out the right outlet. So how do I restart it? I just want it to go again. What the fuck? Click to generate a number. Set random number. Generator seed. Damn it. That's fucking useless. Why can't I restart it? Well, what was the rest of this thing? Send clear to earn after you generate your 10 unique integers. Got it. Haha. Okay, so instead of that, when we hit the maximum, we should say trigger clear. Probably a bang to re-trigger the maximum here, and then a bang to pick the next number. Because this bang isn't sent out until this receives a bang. So it hits the maximum, and then if you try it again, it says, wait, I'm at the maximum. And what we want to do in that case is say clear and send the next number anyway. So we're going to say clear, bang, and then bang again. Let's see if that works. Clear coal. D, E, F. Trigger next note. We should get one of those three. We do. There's D. F, E, and now this last bang should clear the urn and give us another note. F! It worked! Huzzah! Victory chat! My Undertaker! If anyone watched the Attitude Era, you know what I'm talking about. That's working. Nice. All right. Now let's put it in. Hey, we got to learn a new object today, chat. So we need a bee patcher. And we need that to be special move. And we need it to open in presentation mode. We are almost there. Beardpill says victory! Hell yeah! Can I get a hell yeah? While we're doing Attitude Era? Let's see. Yeah, right, so. We are getting close. Not quite close enough to start the pizza yet, though, Teeth Engraved. I'll let you know. Real close, though. Start presentation mode. Come on, where is it? Open in presentation. Okay. There we go. And this one we don't need any special arguments in. We want this in presentation mode. And we also want... So this output is going to go to scale degree. So we'll make that ascend. That's going to come out over here where our keyboard is, because we already know that works. And we want that to happen only if we have activated a special move. So I'm going to say trigger and a gate. And its initial state is going to be 0. This gets connected up here. And so, yeah, we'll do it like that. Whoops. Yep, we're good. And activate special move. Put that there. And let's add this to presentation mode as well. Jump up over here. Oh, we don't need this though. Remove from presentation. And let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna make this a little bigger. We don't really need these in presentation. Well, we might want this node out at some point. Let's leave it alone for now, though we do have some cleanup to do here at some point. This should go at the top. Activate special move. Special attack. And move this over where we can see it. This is going to take up a lot of real estate, but I think it's going to be super awesome. So it's worth it. Let's put it alongside. How about that? No. Underneath. Alright. Save. Speaking of living dangerously, we just modified our main note B patcher here without doing a save as. Again, real fucking dangerous, but whatever. YOLO, chat. Let's move all this shit out of the way. This isn't doing anything. Let's select all of this. God, this patch is getting pretty big. It's a good thing we decided to break this out from actually doing the synth engine, eh? Is that everything? Alright. Move this over. Let's take these bottom 4 and put them over here. Make some room. Select all of these. And magically reveal special attacks. There we go. Hell yeah. These as well. Bring them down. So now any button can be a special attack. Any and all. Alright. Move this a little lower. Whoops. What did I do? Okay, no, we good. Move these down a little. Maybe over here. Alright. And yeah, we're gonna have to clean these up a bit at some point. But today is not that day. Let's see if this works. So, we've already mapped our stuff. We probably need to... Let's see if we're still getting notes. So, without turning on any special moves, let's do major, D. Yeah, we probably need to recheck our MIDI output port. And channel 1. What's happening here? MIDI monitor. Are we getting notes? We are. Okay. Why aren't we hearing anything? Oh, there we go. Max uncertainty principle. Maybe Live just got bored. Alright, sweet. So, Normal mode still working. Come down an octave. Joysticks are still working. Wonderful. Alright, so I'm going to make this high octave on the L2 button. I'm going to make that our special move. That's what I'm going to do. We ready, chat? So let's go find L2. Yep. And I'm going to say activate special attack. I'm going to clear the coal, just in case. And I'm going to make this do... So what? We are in... What did I choose? We're in D major. Let's pick a few notes here. D, E, A, B, and what the hell? Let's activate L1 as well. So L1 and L2 are going to be our kind of random special attacks. Where is L1? Yep, that's L1. Let's give that an extra note that's not in the scale. We're going to do sharp 4, so make it Lydian. And C for Lydian flat 7. Alright. Oh man, I'm excited, and let's make them both in random mode. And I guess I'm going to watch this for a second, and we should see random notes whenever I hit the L buttons. Nope, not working. What did we do? Oh, I forgot something very important. We have to actually send the controller to the B-patcher. Open original. We're real close. So this inlet needs to receive note on. So this is where we are playing a note. Where does that go? Gets received here. And so we need to have already sent our scale degree at that point. So basically we need to insert right in here and say we're going to have another gate here. So if our special mode is on, then okay, but this is going to be either playing the note like normal, like this, or it's going to be playing something from our special mode. So this needs to be 2 outlets with an initial state of 1 for normal. So we're going to add 1 here for this toggle. So when it's on, we're going to be using the second outlet. So both of these, anything that's going to be playing our note, needs to go into this gate and then be routed either in normal mode, straight over here, or we say trigger a bang first to choose a new note, and then play the note. And we're going to reuse this same send object. So bang up there, and then bang to play it. I think that should work. Save, close. Alright. So let's try it again. Oh shit, pizza's nearly done. Okay, I better hurry. Major. Let's do C major. Let's activate a special move. Oh, and we probably need to turn this port on again. And so yeah, let's make... Are we getting notes? We're getting CCs. Okay, right. They're just too low. How about now? Okay, we've got notes. And let's jump in over here and activate L2 special. And let's clear the coal and choose some notes. So we're going to go D, E, F sharp, G. And we're going to activate random mode and go for broke. Especially because there's pizza ready. I hope this works. Hey, it's working! Let's pick some different notes. Clear the coal. C, D, E, G. All right. C, D, G, A. Yep, that's working. Nice. Rock and roll. Yeah, it's working. We have a special move. So now if there's a particular button that you want to be a random note from within a set, or play through a sequence, then we can do that. Sick. And the joysticks work too. Love it. Love it. We did it, chat. Prey slaughtered. We should probably test that a little more next week. But yeah, I think it's all working. We did it. Bonus feature added. I'm going to call that a stream now, I think, and go and eat pizza. Thanks for joining us, and I think that with any luck, soon we get to have magical, nifty emotes. And yeah, let's go raid somebody. Let's see if anybody we know is on. And we will call that a stream. Oh, Coding Garden is on. They're cool. So is Retro MMO. Let's check out Retro MMO. They are building an MMO from scratch, and so you can see the process of some game dev. Different kind of game dev. Start raid. Yar. Let's do it. Thanks again for joining us, and happy Saturday afternoon, chat. Let's do it.